Welcome to OSG Live, where we inspire you to fall in love with your business. Get set to join your hosts, Tanya, Becky, Kylene, and Aaron for your weekly motivation. It's time to share your wins, express gratitude, and choose positive changes. Jump into the comments and share your thoughts with the rest of the OSG community. Coming up, OSG Wellness Super Tools to nourish your mind and body, small business success gems to uncover hidden gems of business excellence, and the uncommon mindset to challenge the status quo.
Your journey to success and happiness starts now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to OSG Live. As you can see, it's Becky and I. Aaron will be joining us soon, and Tanya hopefully will be here soon. So how are you today, Becky?
A little scared now that you're making me up here by myself with you. Aaron will laugh at us, I know, or me. You were too.
Oh, there he is.
I made it. The computer decided to finally play nicely. So, did you welcome us in already?
I welcomed us in. I just said, welcome. It's just Becky and I here. So I haven't done our introductions yet, but I did play our intro. So far, so good.
So far, so good. All right. Well, tell people who you are then, if you're going to welcome us in.
So I am Kylene Montgomery with Rise, Shine, Smile Yoga.
I am Becky Kutzer with BK Custom Tees.
And I'm Aaron Montgomery with our Success Group. And though we had a little rocky start, we're going to have a great day today of just helping everybody fall a little deeper in love with their business. And, I know for me personally, it's a learning lesson, right? The technology, it was all set up and ready to go. And so I love technology and it's and how it works. These things happen. So you just got to roll with it. But Kylene, let's get this moving forward. I think we need to have a dose of gratitude, don't you?
Yes, we do. So we like to start our show with gratitude because gratitude is our superpower. When we're in that state of gratitude, we're in a state of abundance, and we start really appreciating all the wonderful things that we have in our life to be grateful for. Brings that positive energy. So we're going to start our day with positive energy. So if you are listening, please share what you're grateful for this morning. I can start here. Today, I am grateful for my health. I am grateful that my body can heal and that sometimes I have to go to the dentist after this. I'm just grateful that there is a solution so I can heal and feel better.
Awesome. How about you, Becky?
Well, there's been so many things lately to be grateful for. So it's hard to pick just one, but I'm going to go with health also, because obviously last week, if anybody watches that replay, you're going to hear that I didn't feel very good at all last week. And I spent most of the week not feeling good. But now I feel like I have turned a corner. I feel like I'm not quite as nasally. I'm not coughing as bad. So I'm going to take my health at this point too.
Awesome.
All right. Well, sounds good. So Tanya's going to be joining us from the comments. Unable to log in this morning. I am immensely grateful for this community and the three of you. Well, we are super grateful for you, Tanya. So, and appreciate you being in the comments, even when the technology is not working. These things happen, right? It's just part of everything there. So, let's say good morning to some other folks before I share my gratitude, because I want to hear what they're grateful for as well. And again, that rising tide lifting all boats, and when we're all, because like I said, I like to go last so I can borrow from everybody else. So Chuck, good morning, Fab Four, and I think somebody, Becky, maybe Tanya, saying good morning, Chuck. Darren is tuning in from both Facebook and YouTube, so I appreciate that, Darren. Really enjoy that you're joining us this morning. I know you're an early riser in general, or maybe knowing your job, you may just still be awake. So Darren is a firefighter. So and then we have somebody checking in this morning from the Facebook group. So if you get a chance, go to osg.link /Facebook so we can see who you are. But I will go sneak a peek as well. All right. Well, I am extremely grateful for just, borrow a little bit from the community, the three of you, and just everybody kind of, understanding what they need to do for themselves from healing. Kylene, being willing to go to the dentist. That's my least favorite thing. And then Becky working on continuing to heal. And I know Tanya's been running around like crazy too. So just grateful for, I don't know, the matrix, I guess we'll call it, right? That we're all connected and we can all lift each other up. Darren says, early riser, supposed to be on duty, just got the day off. So there you go.
Nice.
Celebrate that, Darren. I love that. All right. Well, like I said, if you guys are tuned in live right now, please share what you are grateful for. That vibration lifts us all up, and you're gonna, once you're reading through or hearing everybody else's gratitude, then that's gonna lift you up. And I've just always found it interesting, and this was a lesson that Kylene taught me. Easy for me to say, that Kylene taught me that it's just, when you're in that state of gratitude, have you ever tried having a bad day and being grateful at the same time? It's not possible. Yep. It's just not possible. Thank you, Becky. All right. I was going to go peek and see. Kessa is who is joining us from the Facebook group. So good morning. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, we've covered that. Kylene, are you all set to go with the wellness toolbox? Are you you need any support, or you got this?
I got this. Yeah.
She doesn't freak out like I do.
So were you a little freaked out when I wasn't on it earlier, and you're going to have to try to talk to
Well, I was here all by myself for the longest time, and then I was really thinking nobody was coming, and I knew I wasn't going to walk.
Becky was like, I got OSG live today. I got rid of everybody else.
No, you would have been fine.
Honestly. I don't know about that.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, Tanya's there, and I'm sure she will be active in the comments.
Yes,
yeah.
You are welcome.
No, it's going to be great. We are excited about it. So, All right, Kylene, here you go.
All right. All right, everyone. Well, welcome to the Wellness Toolbox. Today we have a great topic. It's something that I think we all know it's important, but just to have that gentle reminder of just paying attention to it. And it is self-confidence and gratitude. We're going to talk a little bit about gratitude and how we can, if gratitude's not used in the right way, how it can actually create some kind of roadblocks for us. And so I know that sounds kind of weird when you think about gratitude. How could it possibly hurt us? But when you're working towards your dreams and all of that, we want to make sure we're still dreaming big, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But, to really be successful in our life, being successful in creating our dream business, creating our dream life, we really have to have that self-confidence and truly believe that we are capable of achieving what it is that we want. I think, and I truly believe that we have a dream, the universe, God, a higher power, whatever you want to call it. You have that dream for a reason. And so you have the ability to achieve it. It's our mindset that gets us stuck. It's our mindset and that self-doubt that allows us to stay where we are and not go forward and get outside of our comfort zone. So when we have that self-confidence, we're more likely to take those little risks, those little baby steps to get closer to our dream. And so really what that is the uncommon mindset that Aaron and Becky always talk about. So let's just define self-confidence, just so we're all on the same page. It really is that deep-seated belief in our knowledge and our skills and our determination to achieve our desires. So if you are thinking that you don't have the skills, or you aren't smart enough, or you're whatever enough you want to put there, that creates that self-doubt, and therefore you're not going to step into that zone of a little bit of uncomfortableness outside of your normal, and therefore your dreams are over there in that area, but we're going to stay where we are at. And so I think if anyone's listening to this show, if you have a business, obviously you believe in yourself enough to open up that business, right? You have these dreams that are in you for a reason. It's your true gift to come out. So the importance of self-confidence in achieving that it's really powerful. It's that risk-taking behavior that you have. It's linked, higher self-confidence is linked to higher levels of happiness and contentment, right? You're comfortable in your own skin. You reduce that worry and stress because you believe in yourself, right? You know that risk is part of the growth that is needed to achieve your dreams. Boost your ability to influence others, right? So we've talked about energy, we talked about gratitude, and when we're in that state of gratitude, right, we raise our vibration. Well, when we're confident about our message, guess what happens? We raise our vibration. We're in line with our true gifts, and that message comes across a lot clearer, and we start attracting those things back to us, the right people back to us, the right opportunities to us. And because we believe in ourselves and we're confident, we take advantage of those opportunities when they arise, and that gets us closer to achieving our dreams. It's the whole law of attraction going to work. And we've talked a little bit about the law of attraction. It's really, truly what you think about comes about. And so why not believe in favor of yourself? This is something for me that I think has been my biggest challenge since I left my career 4 years ago to start my own business with Aaron, is that belief in myself to really get outside my comfort zone. I stayed there. I obsessed. I thought about all the ways it wouldn't work instead of thinking about all the ways it would work, which is really interesting because I'm naturally a positive person. I believe in everyone, but I wasn't believing in my own abilities, and that was really holding me back. So I think it's just important for us to talk about this because it can impact us in different ways. And so I want to share some tips really to just develop more self-confidence and really trust yourself. We really, truly have to believe that it is possible for us to keep moving forward. And so we can use tools like meditation, visualization, affirmations, gratitude, and celebrations. So what all of those are doing, it's bringing more positive energy to yourself. I don't know if anyone has like a tool that they found that really helps get them in the right mindset when they're about to do something kind of scary or something a little outside your comfort zone. Please share if you have something that you do that works for you. I know for me, obviously, gratitude is something that's really powerful. Meditation and visualization is really powerful. The visualization can be kind of challenging, but when you truly visualize yourself doing something in the future, your subconscious doesn't really know the difference, right? So when those opportunities arise, your brain is comfortable going into those uncomfortable moments. So that's just a couple tools that you could do to really help just believe in yourself more. So positive self-talk and that visualization again, but that positive self-talk is, I talk about this in yoga a lot. Sometimes we're our own worst critic, right? We find all the flaws. We find the things that maybe is not quite working the way that it should. And then we can focus on that. Well, what does that do? That brings more of that to us. So if we really truly say, you got this, good job, way to show up today, way to take that first step, we are really becoming our own coach and not our critic. And so that's really powerful. Looks like I missed some comments and I apologize. Tanya wrote, I choose gratitude and talk with my peeps. I love that. Yeah, you find what works for you. And I love that you shared that. Oh, yeah. And Aaron wrote, the universe is conspiring for you. Yes. The world, we have these dreams in us, and the universe wants to help us. The higher power, whatever you believe in, truly wants those gifts. Those were given to you for a reason. It wants you to succeed. So we just have to get over our self-doubt and really, truly just trust that we're going to survive that risk, right? When we survive that little risk, then that builds confidence in ourselves to keep moving forward. Looks like I missed this comment too. I apologize. The key word is self. You're the only one that can control it. It doesn't matter what anyone else says or thinks about you. You are the one choosing to believe them. Oh, that's so powerful. Yeah. So we choose, when we look at it that way, we can decide how we show up. It's the whole, how you respond to the events in your life. And you can choose to respond in a negative way. Well, you're going to get the outcome that you probably don't really want. You can choose to show up with positivity and hope and trust and faith. And then guess what? Your outcome still might not be that end goal, but it's a little bit closer to it. So just having that faith there. Come back to my breath helps as well to refocus and go forward. Yes. So that is probably one of the main things with yoga that I have found and that I love to share is come back to our breath. We're creating that harmony between our mind and our body. Our body and our subconscious can go in that protection mode when we're doing something uncomfortable. So just pausing for a moment, take a deep breath and reset and then move forward. So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. Obviously giving up the words, I can't. I can't takes all your power away from you. And that's where it comes to, I choose. When you say I can't, or I won't. So when you say I won't, that's a decision. That's your choice. But I can't just takes all that power away from you. And that's not true. We can. We're just choosing not to. So just try to avoid the words I can't. I still catch myself all the time. But I'm getting better at it. So just kind of be aware of the language that you're using. This is a big one. And for me, this was a big one getting started. It's ignoring what other people think of you. We're unique. We all have unique gifts. We all have talents. We all have likes and we all have dislikes. We're not all the same. And that's a beautiful thing and a good thing. So we're not going to be for everyone, and we have to be okay with that. Our people are out there, and we have these gifts to share with them. And so just knowing that if you're not for someone, we have to just keep moving on. We can maybe learn from that, and maybe what are we putting out there that we're attracting to us. But just remember that there's plenty of people in the world that we can share our gifts with. Why waste it forcing it on someone that is really not interested? So really just being aware of that too. That's going to help with your self-confidence. Acknowledge your power, your positive past. So that's that celebration aspect. Keep that momentum going. That's really powerful. Looks like I missed some comments here. Let's see. Facebook user wrote, I have 3 reminders on my calendar every day. Be grateful every day. The power of one, continue to pray. These pop up on my phone at different times during the day, and it really helps me keep positive. I love that. I love that constant reminder. It is powerful. It does bring you back in check. There's things like gratitude. This is a stone, and it's just a gratitude rock that you can carry in your pocket or somewhere. And when you see it, when you feel it, it's that instant reminder. Okay, I am going to reset. I am going to refocus. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Daddy. It really is awesome. And then, like the choose boards that we share that Tanya makes for us. That's another constant visualization reminder to really keep moving forward towards your dreams and know that this is what I need to take and do today to get a little bit closer. So thank you for sharing that. So this is the interesting thing that for me, it's interesting. but gratitude, and how gratitude can actually create us like a pitfall for us. It can almost hold us back. And what I mean by this, I'm not saying gratitude is not our superpower, because I truly believe that. But what I'm saying is, if we are in the mindset of, I am so grateful that I have this beautiful home and I have a roof over my head and we have income and we have health and all that, and I should is the key word here. I should just be okay with that. And that should be enough for me. You're not allowing yourself to dream bigger. The universe and God and all of that wants us to achieve our dreams, right? They want us to dream bigger. And so if you settle in that mindset of just, I'm grateful with what I have and I'm content, and that's your choice, again, if that's where you want to stay. But if you're having these dreams, if you're here building a business, if you're here sharing your gifts, there's more that you can do. There's more that you're not supposed to do. I don't want to put that on anyone, but there is more that you can do, and it is your true gift. So taking out that should, like I should be content with where I'm at, and knowing that, yes, use that as fuel to raise your vibration and appreciate what you do have, attract more of that to you, but still know that it is okay to dream big. It is okay to want more, because that is your true gift coming out. And so I read an article about that. I think it was maybe a year ago. It just kind of blew my mind, because I had never thought of how gratitude can almost be a crutch at certain times. I don't know if anyone's really thought about that side of gratitude, and how if we do use it as that crutch, we're not allowing ourselves to dream bigger. We're not allowing ourselves to really fulfill our personal gifts and dreams with the world. So okay, so I feel like I kind of went fast, but just overall, Aaron wrote, I know this is probably not a popular opinion, but sometimes we have to ignore what other people think on both sides. Sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves to make changes. This is a hard one. You would think being honest with yourself would be the easiest thing, right? But that's where you have to let go sometimes of the being all things to everyone, showing up in a way that is comfortable for you, so this is something that Aaron and I have talked about. I have a hard time at times letting my guard completely down. I keep my guard up. I share what I'm comfortable with. I stay in my bubble. I stay in my comfort zone there. I'm working on sharing more of me. But until and I'm working on being more honest with myself about this, that's when my true gifts are going to come out. That's when all of me is going to be shared with people, not just what I am comfortable sharing. And I think that growth happens over time. It happens when you put a little foot out there and you share a little bit, and then you survive it, and then you keep moving forward. Don't should on yourself. Yeah, it comes out sometimes, and recovering people pleaser, most definitely. And so we celebrate where we're at, and we know that there's always room for growth. And what that does, we're believing that it is possible for us, and we're building our self-confidence. And that's what we need to really have that uncommon mindset to achieve our dreams. And I would love to get you guys' opinion, Becky and Aaron. Tanya wrote, "You're doing a great job. Did you ever think you'd be putting yourself out on TikTok?" Absolutely not. So for me, TikTok was a big deal, because I'm sharing yoga out there and I can't see the students. I can see Tanya, I can see some things, but I really felt like I didn't have control. But I also had all these eyes of people looking at me, and I couldn't do anything about it. So I was holding back because I didn't want that judgment. So I was honest with myself and with the amazing people that I have surrounding me. I was able to do it. And now we've been doing it for over a That is where the power of one comes in. You are the one in control of your own destiny. Well said. That was perfect. Perfect summary. So can we bring two more or three of us of the Fab Four? Yeah, I'd love to get you guys' take on this, especially the gratitude one, how it can be used sometimes as a crutch. I'd love to get you guys' opinion on that.
Becky.
I remember when Kylene talked about this, I mean, way back early on, I think it was one of our first shows we had, we discussed it a little bit. And I can remember thinking then too, like, well, how can gratitude like hurt us? You know, and yet I can see after we discussed it, you know, if you're just falling into that comfort zone and, you know, and I'm guilty of it for sure, you know, yep, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, but not feeling, you know, leaning into those feelings and into that gratitude. Sometimes it feels hard to try to find those things to be grateful for. I had been doing a grateful journaling thing and I fell off of it, and I keep telling myself I'm going to get back, and I haven't yet. I don't know why. But you know, I can tell the difference from when I was doing those gratitude, you know, when you have to find those 10 things every day, you know, what you start seeing and how it changes your perspective.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing with that, Becky, and I think in general for all of us, but like you said, you were doing the gratitude thing and then, you know, you kind of fallen off of it and you didn't really know why. What I've discovered is those are the things that are like the signs that I was missing all the time, is that I need to like dig into that. Like, why would I, you know, I have similar things. Like, I've not been great about my daily planner thing and completing it and getting to the close of the day and stuff like that. And, you know, it's a sign, I believe, that I just need to dig in and figure out what's going on. I was fortunate to get some help from some of my Canfield trainer friends. And, you know, I've been really, actually, I'll share it because, you know, why not? But I had to draw my imposter syndrome, and it's a funny picture because I'm not great at drawing, right? So there we go. I was already kind of doubting myself, but just kind of making friends with that and digging into what that means and stuff like that. Because, you know, my take, and again, Kylene and I have been talking about this a lot lately for both of us, is this concept of, you know, yes, the grace is so important, and we must. I think that's a crucial aspect that to reigniting our self-trust is we have to let go of the shoulds. You know, like Tanya had said earlier, don't should on yourself. You know, those kinds of things, and that's where the grace comes in, right? It's not a should. And I think though the piece that's missing is maybe what Kylene's talking about here with the gratitude and whatnot, is that we have to add that like uber honesty with ourselves. Again, it's not a should, it's a, am I doing everything that I can? Am I being what I want to be? Am I showing up? And if you're not, that's okay. And you get to choose whether the next day you do differently, or if you keep doing the same thing, right? And that's your choice. And so this is not a label of right or wrong. It's if I'm not honest with myself, I'm never going to know what I could be. Not what I should be, but what I could be, right? You're exactly where you're supposed to be in that moment. But you have, I think it was Dottie who had said, that's the power of one. You are in control of your own destiny, right? We are in control of our own destiny through our choices. And so that's where it's that balancing act between the gratitude, the grace, the, you know, letting myself off the hook for anything I perceive I didn't do well. And then adding in that honesty of, okay, if I'm potentially perceiving that I didn't do that well, what could I do instead the next time if I so chose? And I think it's really crucial to kind of add all of those elements together in my opinion. So I'm curious.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love that. And I think that's where truly the growth happens. And truly where we do step outside of our comfort zone. And, but it's allowing yourself to be open and know that whatever is going to show up, it's okay, but it has to show up for us to learn from it, or we keep doing the same pattern.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Becky, am I crazy talking here, or is that making any
No,
sense?
no. I mean, it all makes sense. I wrote down a couple notes for myself for some stuff that showed up. So I just
I love it. Good for you.
need to dig into that just a slightly bit more.
Yeah.
So
That's what I love about this. We're all on this journey together,
Mhm.
and we're all in the same ocean, and we're all, just kind of working to raise that vibration. Because a couple of the other notes that I wrote down as Kylene was talking, we were talking about the universe conspiring for you, and how you shared that, right? Because sometimes we do feel like the world's against us. It's this kind of feeling overwhelmed and smushed and all that kind of stuff. But when you really dig into it and when you're really honest with yourself, you're the one conspiring against you. Right?
Mhm.
And I think that's the hard part to accept. But if we're willing to accept that we control our own destiny, then we have to be willing to accept that we are the ones conspiring against ourselves just through those thought patterns. And because the science of it, I don't quite understand, but I listened to enough about it. If we really kind of truly look deep into quantum physics, the world is just a series of vibrations. We're just a vibration. We're not this thing that I'm touching is just a vibration. And so the universe is made to expand, and then certain vibrations make it contract. And so that's where our gifts are so important, and why I think we're also passionate about making sure people are fulfilled and sharing their gifts with the world, because it's crucial to have that expansion. But with all of the scarcity mindset and the negative talk and the constant 24-hour news cycle of all the bad news, right, that is bringing us this contraction. And so I think it's just really important that when in doubt, we need to lean in. And I know that's super hard. I'm guilty of it every day myself. And I want to try to be an example of somebody that's willing to say, yep, I hid, but I'm willing to step back and say, yep, I'm back though. Let's do this kind of thing. So, I know that was a big thing for me. So if you guys have thoughts to add, go ahead.
Yeah. Looks like there is a comment there.
Yep. All right. So thank you, Dottie. Yeah. She says, well said. Don't put limitations on yourself. I've always said that I can do anything if I set my mind to it, except for physical limitations. And Dottie, not to be devil's advocate to that, right? Yes, physical limitations, but even that is, through technology, through help of others, through, whatever, there's always a solution for everything. And I think that's the hard thing to realize, is that even the most difficult challenges that we're facing, there is a potential solution. Again, like Dottie said, if I set my mind to it. Kylene and I were just watching a show the other day called Heal, where it really talked about that they did studies of these miraculous recoveries, I think is what they called them. And, most of it had to do with mindset. So
I haven't gotten it watched yet.
It
on my list, but it had not gotten to the top of the list this week yet.
Yeah. I mean, if you take anything from it, it is truly the power of our mind and how it can really allow us to heal. But the other thing to remember with that is what we do might look different than someone else, and that's okay. Because we're unique and we show up differently. We have different abilities. And so it looks a little different for some of us, but all that is okay.
I think that is such an important point that you just made there, Kylene. And I'm so grateful that you did that, because I think sometimes we go, okay, well, I have to be doing what Becky's doing. I have to be doing what Aaron's doing. I have to be doing what Kylene's doing, what Tanya's doing, and otherwise I'm not successful, right? It has nothing to do with that. That's why for us at our success group and what we're doing with the Fun Live, it's all about getting aligned with what your purpose is, what makes you fulfilled, what makes the day amazing for you. And that looks different for everybody. And so, if we can stop comparing ourselves to others and just really make sure that we're in tune with what's important to us. I mean, you don't have to be a small business owner, right? Kylene and I've been having this conversation. She's getting a lot of fulfillment out of what she's able to do right now in her work with the VA. right? And so maybe that's what's right now for her, and that's okay, right? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just coming back to that honesty that we talked about. So yeah, I could talk about this for hours, so you guys have to stop me.
We ate into you guys' time.
That's okay. That's okay.
Aaron will have to talk really fast now.
Again.
Shocking.
This happened last week too.
I can handle, yeah, because I talked a whole lot afterwards, so it's okay. Okay, well, let's real quick take a breather. Everybody, thank you so much. Great comments, Dottie, Tanya. Thank you for being there in the comments. I know you said you felt like a fish out of water, but you are here in spirit with us, and we appreciate you very much. I look forward to having you back next week with us. So let's hear a little bit. We've got a gift that we want to share with folks, those that are ready, the very interested people, the VIPs, to sign up for Fundamentals Live. So let's share that gift here real quick. Hey there, fellow small business owner. I'm sure you've heard the buzz about the upcoming Fundamentals Live event. It's not just an event or training, it's a game changer for entrepreneurs like you, hosted in O'Fallon, Missouri. Well, it's time to reignite that spark and love what you're doing again. I want to give a gift to the very interested people out there who are ready to sign up today. When you sign up before April 15th, you get an amazing no-charge gift. It's 6 virtual milestone meetings after the event. We're going to start on June 14th. Every Friday, there's going to be a bi-weekly meeting to keep your momentum going if you sign up before April 15th for the Fundamentals Live. Are you in? Are you ready for the gift? Head over to osg.link/funlive to get more information and sign up today. Let's make it happen. All right. Well, I still have the gift sitting right here. So faux gift. It's one of Kylene's mugs, actually. So if somebody wants it, we do have a gift here for you. Speaking of gifts, though, I did want to share one other thing. We were in the giving mood for sure. So Becky and I actually talked through, and with the support of Kylene and Tanya, kind of figuring things out. We are going to offer a no-charge webinar next week to kind of give people a little bit of a taste here. So I'm going to pop it in the comments here, and people want to go to oursuccessgroup.com/pricing. They can get registered for one of those webinars happening next week. So, and then I'm grateful for this guy heading off to school. Bye. All right. So anything about that, you guys, before we jump into Uncommon Mindset here?
Oh, pricing is just a huge topic for all industries, I think. And the webinar is going to be some great information. Yeah. Kind of the tip of the iceberg, actually.
Yeah. And I think the cool part is we'll give people a real great foundation, because in the in-person event, right, people aren't going to be at home and they won't have all that information at their fingertips. So I think kind of having this little bit of a foundation will make it even that much more powerful when you show up at the in-person event. So I think that's a really great point, Becky. Thank you. Yeah. All right.
And sorry.
Go ahead, Kelly. No, you're good.
I was just going to say, like, the pricing, it's more than just the numbers. And I think that's what I love about the training, is that it is the mindset part of it too. And that's what you're going to share as well.
Yeah. It's been really, really great to be able to. So this is something that I've been sharing out at some of the trade shows. So, that kind of thing. And so maybe some people have seen this before, but I think it gets better every time I do it. So, and like everything, right? Everything we do repeatedly, it gets better each time. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with folks. So what we did was we set up 3 different dates and times. So Tuesday is an evening. I think it's 7:30 in the evening on Tuesday the 9th. And then on Thursday, we did kind of one in the more morning because of everybody's time zone. We kind of tried to slap it in the middle. So 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 Eastern. I think that's 8 o'clock on the West Coast. And then for those that, just are really too busy during the week, we also have a Saturday option. I think it's at 1 o'clock on Central Time on Saturday, if I remember right. So just go to that website. It's completely no charge, and you can sign up for it, get all the information. Because we wanted to do it live and be able to really kind of have people experience and do the Q&A and stuff like that. If you sign up, the recording will be available for 72 hours, but we didn't want to make it something where people just kind of access it whenever. I think the real power of it is, I've been saying this a lot more. You don't want to hear about it. You want to participate in it. So, yeah. Okay. Before I run out of all of our time here, Becky, you ready for some uncommon mindset? Okay, here we go. All right, Becky. Well, we are finally diving into the last of our 12-week program. We had a great question last week. Our intention was to kind of talk about the empowering ourselves, and we did last week go through and go through all previous 11 weeks. And so go back and watch episode number 27 if you want to get that recap. And then, like I said, we got a fantastic question from one of the live listeners, and it was totally relevant in the moment. So we just ran with it. The question was, how important is it to develop a company culture for a small business? And so we had a great conversation about that, ranging from values to bring to, do you bring politics into your business? I mean, it was a really great discussion.
Yeah, very much so.
And so we're always open for that, by the way, if you guys have it, right? We have things set for you, but yeah, derail us. We're obviously, I am easily derailed first and foremost, and secondly, we love that. That's I think probably more valuable in general for folks to have that. What's happening right now for you? What's on your mind? So, let's see here. What else? So we've got this 12-week foundation, and we're so passionate about this because we know it can change your business drastically, and so from that space, Becky, right? If you think about those things, what if you came and spent 2 days with us in June, transforming yourself and your business with that guiding ability, right? I think that is what is so, I don't know why I'm so passionate about this, why I'm so like, let's scream it from the mountaintops, right? Because I know that we're going to have all of this information that we're talking about here at their fingertips. They're going to have even more direct access to myself and the rest of the Fab Four through the Fundamentals Live. And so I get really excited about all of this, and because I know people are going to fall deeper in love. All the things we talked about with Kylene, that expansion, that really kind of having that self-confidence is all going to show up once they start doing these exercises. So, as you should for your business, you need to have that vision. And I just get carried away in what the vision of what we're doing with our success group is. So I apologize for that, but I apologize.
You shouldn't apologize. You should not.
I was going to say, I apologize, but I don't apologize. How about that? But anyhow, Becky, let's get on this topic because I think this is also very crucial for us. Empower yourself. So let me just flat out ask you, what does that mean to you?
Well, and I think, Kylene's wellness tools just played right into this because, empowering means making those positive choices, taking the action, being confident in your abilities, just for your own happiness, the direction you take, all that stuff. You are in control of those, and making that choice to do, to do the thing or not the thing is a choice. Whether it's a positive or a negative choice, it's still a choice, and that's the empowerment that you have. I'm learning that in and of myself as I'm having to make some health choices on food, what I can and cannot have. And I told Tanya the other day, I said, I will be fine. I will be doing this. I just have to have a small temper tantrum first, and then I'll get over it. So we'll move forward. But,
Wow. That is such a powerful, what you just said right there, though, is so powerful. So I don't want to let that go. That small temper tantrum. See, that's what we were like, oh, and I shouldn't do that. Right? No, stop. If that's what is in the moment, then go for it. Do it. Tanya says here, I'll have to track how many times I apologize for it. Like, I do things all the time and then I apologize for it. But reality is I'm not really apologizing for it. I'm just kind of saying, this is what you're going to get. Right. So occasionally you got to have a temper tantrum. Occasionally that stuff's all part of it. So just bring it all in and love all of it. And so really, really good stuff. And by the way, Tanya says, hi, Cora. And Tanya says, when it's a health thing and food, it's hard, but you're going to get there. So, and then Kylene says, love that. You have to allow yourself to feel the feelings, process the emotions that arise. So love that. Good. Well, that's so awesome, Becky. That's exactly what I think your idea of empower yourself and my idea of empower yourself are perfectly aligned here. And so kind of in this final week of the workshop, we're going to break down kind of a formula. I've adapted it from Jack Canfield's E plus R equals O, which is event plus response equals outcome. And I've adapted that for our business use here. And I call it E plus A equals S. Your experience plus your actions equals the success you're going to have. So when we take 100% responsibility for our own success, we no longer give our power away to anyone else, right? If think about it this way, if I'm 100% responsible for it, then nothing anybody else can do can change the result. I'm the only one that can change the result, right? Can they help me, or could they maybe try to put roadblocks in front of me? Absolutely. But it's how I respond to those events and situations that is really crucial, right? So it is, as hard as this is to swallow for a lot of us, it boils down to a simple decision, right? It's your choice to make how you respond to everything. And so what I've found is that when I have those events that occur that maybe don't go the way I want them to or whatever, if I can slow down, if I can pause and then utilize the heart, right? That's the way I've kind of put it in the formula, that experience plus, if you put a heart around that plus, and you come from that with a compassionate mindset, it will catapult you to success even faster. And so that's another part of the workshop. And then the next part is that we're going to share a really simple but powerful strategy where by taking 5% more responsibility, because a lot of times it's like, oh my gosh, I have to take 100% responsibility. That's a lot. But if I were to say to myself, if I were to take 5% more responsibility for insert the outcome you want here, what would that look like? And then play with that and start implementing that, right? And so we'll teach you how to set that up, and then we're going to break down the importance of self-care, which we've done a lot here on Uncommon Mindset, but we're going to have real specific strategies for that come out of the book, the Fundamentals of Business Success, and just basically going back to taking advantage of all the ideas that Kylene and Tanya have shared. And then lastly, another crucial mindset for small business owners. We talked about the review cycle mindset in week 11, but there's also this ROI mindset that's really crucial. So what's your thought on that?
Yes, the ROI, now I can't talk, but the ROI mindset, I mean, is our gem for today. I mean, we've been sitting on this one, and it's definitely not the last greatest whatever. We have more, but this is just such a great topic here that, in our business, we're always so conscious of what our return on investment is. I don't know if my camera is all shaken on for everybody, but Cora's hitting my table and all the things. So, we're always worried about that bottom line in our business and having that return on investment. But if we have a return on investment mindset for ourselves also, invest in ourselves, not just our small business, not just, we have to turn and have that mindset for investing also in ourselves to get that return on investment.
Yeah. I look at this, kind of think about your day-to-day life, right? Like we go around investing in everyone else. I mean, going back to what we talked about earlier, we got to be honest with ourselves here, right? We invest in our spouses. We, maybe invest in them by making their worries our own, right? I know my dad is constantly worried about me, and I'm like, hey, Dad, I appreciate you worrying about me. I know that you love me, but why don't you invest in yourself and then let's see what happens, right? And so we invest in our families by putting their needs ahead of our own. We invest in our communities by giving of our time and resources because they're important, right? And it's important to them. It's important to us. Heck, we even invest in strangers by giving our attention to their YouTube or TikTok thing, or Kylene's gonna hate me, but the home improvement shows, right? we invest in everyone else around us. We're constantly investing everywhere else. And there's not a thing wrong with this. In fact, I would argue that our true purpose is to ultimately invest in others. But the challenge we face is that we are typically investing from an empty bank account, right? We're basically maxing out our credit cards of our ability to invest because we've spent all of our time investing in everybody else, and then there's nothing left for you, right? And so when we focus first on investing in ourselves, that allows us the ability to gain new resources, to expand, to fill up our bucket first. And this is the ROI mindset, or return on investment. So just kind of, those are interchangeable. Obviously, ROI is just what that stands for. So we really need to be strategic about how we invest in ourselves. And we need to stop worrying about the cost or the expense, right? We're putting this dollar value on everything, and instead focus entirely on, if we invest, what is the return or the abundance that I will gain from that? So I always explain it in my seminars with this analogy is, if I were to, however that looks, legally come to you and say, Becky, I'm going to guarantee you $100,000 if you'll give me $25,000 first. And it's all legal and you believe it and all that other stuff. Even if you don't have that $25,000, if somebody's guaranteeing you $100,000, will you figure out a way to come up with that $25,000? Right? Like beg, borrow, steal, rob a bank, whatever it takes, right? Please don't go rob a bank. I'm not suggesting that. But the point is, we will do just about anything within our moral compass to make that happen, right? Now, if that's true, you have to be willing to, right? You have to be the one making that guarantee, right? I believe in myself enough. I guarantee that I will not give up until I get to this goal. So what do I need to invest to get there? What is required of me to reach that goal? It's the same thing. I know it doesn't seem like the same thing because we've allowed an external force to be on us, but the reality is the same thing is very true for us, is we have to be able to put that kind of a belief in ourselves, right? So the way to kind of put this mindset into action is to evaluate where you're investing daily, right? And this is your time, your money, your energy. Forget about the word investing as a connection to money or stocks or whatever that conjures up in your head. Just think about investing of my resources that are available to me. Again, time, money, energy, all that stuff. If it helps, you use a different word, right? Return on allocation, return on your commitments, return on contributing, right? So the same return, let go of any connection to money or gain. And then that return should simply mean to you, I put something in and abundance comes back out, right? So this is creating abundance and allows us to share that abundance. That's that rising tide lifting all boats. So what are you investing in? What are you allocating your time to? What are you contributing to? What are you making commitments to each day? And what abundance are you getting back from it, right? So again, Kylene, don't hit me later. But if you're watching that home improvement show, yes, that might net you some enjoyment or even a slight escape, right? If the world's a little tough. But what is the abundance you're getting back that you can share with the world? And this is not a question of right or wrong. As long as you know that there's abundance coming back to you for that investment of your time. So this is not about removing everything that doesn't, quote unquote, pay off, right? It's about prioritizing the things appropriately and then being honest with yourself about the abundance coming back to you for the effort. So I know that's a lot, but that's kind of the way that, in my mind, And what I've learned is how this works is we have to kind of make that investment and understand where we're investing. And then, yes, as Jerry says, first, put the mask on ourselves first, the airplane analogy. We can get into that. But Becky, what are your thoughts
I was
here?
expecting the airplane analogy to come from Tanya because she has said that a lot lately. We've talked about that, making sure that you take care of yourself first. But,
Yep.
As far as looking at our time, how are we investing in ourselves? And I'm just as guilty as the next person getting lost scrolling through videos. And, Tanya and my husband can tell when I've been scrolling through videos because there's a lot of shares. Like, look at this one, look at this one. But at the same time, I've also utilized those same videos to learn new tools,
Sure.
researching the things that I need to put time and effort into. What do I need to learn? What am I needing to know? If you utilize those same tools that are mind numbing and scrolling, they can be of value. There's a lot of things on TikTok that you can learn, and sometimes the part I like about TikTok is it comes in small doses. So instead of watching a YouTube video that's an hour and a half long, I can get like 2 to 3 minutes and I can like pinpoint the one section and the one problem I'm like wanting to know about. If it, in where I'm talking about that is the, I was working on something in one of my design programs or whatever, and I was struggling with one aspect. How do I make that happen? And so I pinpointed that. So, but investing your time in in-person retreats, trainings, having the time, especially in person, makes that learning process and your progress so much faster. That is what I have found when I've actually attended some in-person retreats, different things like that. And that's, we know that Fun Live is going to be the ultimate ROI for yourself and your business. Tanya said yes. And if you aren't just going for hours, it's all good. And TikTok is the new Google in some cases. And that's true. So,
and I think she makes a really good point though there, Becky, it is really about, right, managing that, right? Mm-hmm. Having that, if it's an investment and you're gaining abundance out of it, great. But once it becomes, okay, now I've just wasted 2 hours and I got nothing else out of it, right, besides that 2-minute little clip that I got, right? That's where we have to be honest with ourselves, right? What are we doing with that? And again, this is not about labeling. We never want to look back at the past and beat myself up, right? I do this because I'm flogging myself in the back as an example, right? Oh, I'm so bad. No. It's like, okay, cool. Now, what tool do I need to put in place to remind myself, okay, I'm going to TikTok. It's design developed, people making lots of money that are very smart have put all of their efforts into making sure this thing steals as much of my attention as possible. So what do I need to put in place to say, okay, yep, TikTok, great, got what I needed. It's a nice little chunk, better than the hour-long video that I had to try to wade through all the excess, right? How do I get this little piece back? And so that's such a good point that, you find where it is. And again, this is not to say, I was kind of picking on Kylene, but not really, right? It's because I watch them too. I could probably remodel a house now. I don't know, but it's not necessarily a passion of mine. But you know what? It's a great opportunity for us to spend some time together. So it's not a label of good or bad. It's just at what level do I need to go back and say, okay, I'm 100% responsible for my own success. It's time to get off the couch. It's time to go do something. It's time to go put my face on TikTok instead of watching everybody else on TikTok or whatever that is for you. It doesn't have to be that. So again, I'm not calling anybody out here. I'm just sharing that. So, all right. Shall we bring Kylene back in with us here?
We're definitely in the bonus time today again. So
yeah, a little bit. So, all right, Kylene, how do we do? I'm hoping that you're not coming downstairs to
not in my home improvement shows, so I don't know how I feel about that. No, it's so funny. Like sometimes you create and you do things as the escape, and for me, that is an escape. I can kind of pay attention to them, but I still know what's happening. So for me, like I enjoy them because I like watching the transformation that occurs. But it has become, and it can easily become, a huge distraction and barrier to me moving forward. So I like the change in the mindset, the ROI side, because it's very powerful. It's how our energy is spent. And if we're doing something that's not like stimulating us and like getting us excited about moving forward, that almost depletes our energy. And then what do we have left to give to the things that really are our priorities and importance? So I like that. And I liked, you can't give from an empty cup. The airplane analogy, all of that,
We didn't actually.
Oh, go ahead.
We didn't actually talk about the airplane analogy. You want to share it with folks just real quick?
What do you mean? Like,
we didn't actually say what the specifics were of it.
Oh, well, you got to put your face mask on first so you can be there, and then put your face mask on the person next to you to help. So if we're not filled up and we're not taking care of ourselves, how can we really truly show up for other people? We're giving and being depleted without refilling. And then we don't show up the way we're supposed to show up, or we can start to get resentful, right? If you're giving from that empty cup and you're not recharging, you're not going to show up the way you're supposed to. You're not going to be your best version of you. And so that's why I think I like, filling your cup up, or the airplane analogy. Take care of yourself so you can be there and share your true gifts with other people. Yeah. Did I do a good job of that?
Yeah, no, I like it. I also always add one thing to the airplane analogy that always stood out to me. Just, this is who I am, right? But the fact that they say that, right? And then if you are seated next to your kid, they specifically come up to you and remind you, right? Yes, we just said that in the announcement, but they want to remind you, you must put on your mask first, right? And I think about that like, my kids are a priority right next to Kylene, right? Kylene, Lewis, Keegan, a priorities. And so they're telling me that I need to make myself a priority first. And then when you think of it, you're like, oh, well, now it makes sense, because if I don't, I can't help them. Right. Yeah. And so my A priorities, if putting myself above them to be able to then help them is important, then I need to figure out what the priorities are.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Becky.
Well, and the other part of that too is that, you are the only one that will look out for you. Wow. You have that. That's up to you to do. Nobody else is going to do that for you. So
yeah, love it.
Yeah, that's huge.
All right, couple quick comments here. Okay, sorry. Let's get this one that Tanya had earlier that I missed. So I apologize for that, Tanya. In person has so many benefits. Meeting people, developing relationships seems so much more real, and you have people to fall back on after the event. Such a good point, Tanya. Yeah. Okay, so she said, my cup was empty, so I took time for me to go fill myself up again. It was the best investment myself, and now I feel like I can be full steam ahead again. I love it. Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Good for you.
Then, Jerry says, if you watch HGTV as a break, no issue. If you spend 12 hours watching it, then you're escaping too much, probably. Yeah. I think that's right.
Yep.
But it's not just HGTV, right? Like I've watched, every episode of lots of things. I'm a binger, so I have to be very careful. We've been very intentional about getting rid of some of the streaming services in our house. And I know it's because of me, and that's okay. Right. We don't necessarily need it, but, I don't know. Kylene's working on my self-control, but
we have the same problem in our house as we've been watching Blown Away with the glass making lately.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It is cool. And so,
Yep. I've watched most of that too, Becky. So at least the early season. I don't know if they have a new one. Don't tell me.
Well, there's 4 total.
All right.
So,
all right. Well, really good stuff, you guys.
I want to go back to Tanya's one comment here, if we can.
I think it's great.
About the in-person stuff and the part where she says you have people to fall back on after the event. And I think people don't realize that. I mean, after you've met people at an event, you have that connection. You feel like you can reach out, or I guess I always prayed that people would reach out to me if they felt that they needed to after an event, or if they wanted to, or if I could offer of anything, whether it's just a listening ear. But everybody's going through those same things at that event, and it shows up differently for each person. So everybody has something to give. And I just felt like that was a very important comment there, with the falling back on your attendees, your what will, I pray, become friends when you leave that event. So
yeah.
I think that's really powerful to bring up, because you go through an experience together, you're connected at a deeper level. And so to maintain those relationships afterward is huge. Just build your network of people, of like-minded people.
Sure. Well, think about the mastermind groups, right? That's built over time, and that's great. And I think there's a huge value in that. Like I said, I've gotten so much out of the mastermind groups that I'm a part of as well, plus being able to facilitate, but that takes some time. We're going to have that same feeling, that same depth of support 2 days. It's like, I'm blown away. Like I said, the vision of this thing to me is like, wow, just blowing my mind every time I think about it. And I just go back to what I had said earlier, don't hear about it, participate in it.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of that, can I share one more time here? Just again, if you want to, so we survey people at our success group when they sign up to get on our newsletters and things like that, or, just kind of come into our system, and we ask, what's the biggest challenge you're currently facing in your business? And I need to go back and redo the percentages, because we've been gaining new people onto the list. But last time I checked, we were somewhere north of 80% of the small businesses had pricing as their big challenge. So if you want to go to oursuccessgroup.com/pricing, you can get signed up for one of those webinars that's happening. It's all going to be, all three of them are going to be the same. So, but you're also welcome to come to all three too. It doesn't matter to me. Come to one that works in your schedule. Come to all three. Come to two. It doesn't matter. You're going to get something out of each one, and it's going to be fantastic. We're going to have plenty of time for Q&A and really kind of getting into the depth of your business. So, oursuccessgroup.com/pricing is where you want to go and get registered for that if you haven't already. And then one other thing to share here before we kind of close things out, facebook.com/groups/fall in love OSG. Just go search Fall in Love OSG on Facebook and join that group if you're not already in there. I know some of you guys are tuned in from there, but if you are tuned in from there, or if you're already in the group, please go invite your friends. Again, that rising tide lifts all boats. And I asked the other day, I haven't got a whole lot of responses yet, but I'll keep pinging people. When we get to 500 people in there, what do we want to do? How are we going to celebrate that? Let's give away something. Let's make it an event. So,
Kylene, will you let him shoot the confetti cannon off in the house?
As long as he cleans it, yes.
I've always cleaned it. Well, sometimes I still find some leftover. All right.
But yes, I would.
Yeah. Tanya would normally put us on ice at this moment, but she's going to have to do it through the comments, but a big part of that is just, what are you going to choose, right? What are you going to choose? And we've already talked about it once, but let's all share our choose boards here. So, Kylene, you want to start us off?
Okay. So I am choosing healing and hope.
Love it. Love it. Okay. Becky, your turn.
My board says that I choose to do hard things. And Cora chose, she was asking me how to spell persevere.
Wow.
She got the word from, but she chose the word persevere. She has Bio Girls today, and I don't know if everybody knows what Bio Girls is, but it's an amazing program that stands for Beautiful Inside and Out. And awesome. It is for the elementary 1st through 5th grade girls, I believe. And it's a 12-week program, and they stair step up to a 5K. So in May, these girls will participate in a 5K. So they run a little bit every week, and then they have to do their workouts at home, and then they always have a lesson and whatever each week at the thing. I mentored last year. I chose not to this year, just so Cora could experience it without me, which I think is important for her too. So
yeah, I love
that's
that.
awesome.
Love that. Running is such a good example of persevering, because any distance running, Kylene and I talk about this when we're running, you get to a certain point where the physical doesn't matter anymore. It's all mental. It's just,
I think it's all mental because I don't do it.
yeah. I think most of it is mental for people that aren't runners. But I think, even the high end, the professional athletes that run these distances, marathons, things like that, they'll all tell you they spend more time training their mind than they do their body, because at a certain level, that's your body's got what it's got, and we just have to dig a little bit deeper. So love it. Okay, mine is grace plus honesty. Kylene knows I'm not always great at giving myself grace, and so, but continuing to remember that honest part too. How can I be better next time? So not that, again, not that I'm not proud of what I've been, and that's where the grace comes in, to kind of make sure I really stop in that for a moment and celebrate it, but then also giving myself that reminder of, hey, let's keep expanding, let's keep growing, let's keep figuring out new ways to be better. So Tanya says, what are you choosing this week? I'm choosing focus, because today is my only day in the office. So all right, get after it, Tanya. Love it.
Yeah, she's coming to me tomorrow, so I'm stealing her.
Yeah. And talking about Cora. Oh, I love her. She's pretty awesome. Today is National Walking Day, FYI. Good for her doing that program. Oh, that's a great reminder.
Awesome.
Maybe a little walk in the cards for today. Okay.
Good.
All right, you guys. Well, anything else? I know we're in a bonus time here, but Kylene had a little extra time today because she's got an appointment shortly. So
Good luck.
Thanks. Not my favorite thing to do, but I'm glad I can do it. But yeah, I just thank you guys for joining us today. It's always a good conversation, and I always leave feeling very inspired. So I'm really grateful for all of you. If you guys want to hear about anything, or if you have any feedback for us, just reach out to any one of us. We will take it, and we're always, again, looking to improve and grow and expand. So if you have any ideas, please reach out.
Yeah. Oh, can I share one more thing? If you aren't in the Facebook group, please go and do that soon, because I'm going to pop in there later today. I posted something this morning, and there are 3 bullet points at the bottom of that post that I want to kind of break down a little bit for folks. And so I'm going to do that in the Facebook group exclusively today. So I asked what time. So I'm waiting to hear back. I haven't gone and looked yet, but if there's a certain time that works better for everybody, I've got a decent chunk of time later this afternoon, so it'll probably be kind of early afternoon or late afternoon, I guess, would be more appropriate. But whatever time, I will try to make it happen. All right, so get in there to that Facebook group. I will see you over there a little bit later today.
Have a great week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.